To continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs.
No matter how long it takes, no matter how long they keep trying, we will not stop fighting.
We'd like to ask you some questions. I'm not on your lawn, I'm on the street.
I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
All right, there you have it. After days of deliberation, weeks of testimony, months of trial, and 2 years since the case itself was first opened, there is no verdict in the Karen Read murder trial. The judge officially, you just saw it there, declaring a mistrial yesterday with the jury hopelessly deadlocked. Thanks so much for being with us here at 11. I'm Melody Mendez.
And I'm Colton Bradford. Listen, there is a lot of misinformation out there right now, especially over the last 24 hours. Let's make one thing clear. This does not mean that the case is closed. Already with that, fallout is growing from the decision there from the judge. The lead state trooper in the case now relieved of duty. We have team coverage for you this morning on the aftermath of the Karen Read murder trial. Let's begin with NBC 10's Manoj Kwangwari live for us in Dedham with an overview of what happened. And Manoj, more importantly, what could be next?
I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
A shocking end to the Karen Read murder trial. After 5 days and more than 27 hours of deliberation, the 12-person jury unable to come to a unanimous decision. Now, the jury warned Judge Beverly Cannoni last week Friday that consensus would be hard, but she sent them back to deliberate. On Monday, they simply had enough.
To continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs.
A conclusion that left John O'Keefe's family emotional inside the court as they still wait for justice for their loved one. Outside, the defense celebrating what many would call a win, but they maintain their job is not yet finished.
The Commonwealth did their worst. They brought the weight of the state based on spurious charges, based on compromised investigation and investigators and compromised witnesses.
We ain't got no quit.
Well, on July 22nd, we expect to learn what will happen next. That's when the judge has set a status hearing to determine next steps. We, of course, will be keeping you updated. But for right now, we are reporting here in Dedham. Manoj Kwangwari, NBC 10 Boston.
So to make matters more complicated, we learned yesterday evening that the lead state investigator in this case has been relieved of duty.
You likely recognize the man right here because there were many jaw-dropping moments in this trial, but perhaps one of the most jarring was his controversial text messages being read aloud, revealed and read aloud on the witness stand during testimony. So NBC 10's Alicia Palumbo is in Dedham for us now with the details on this angle of the story.
Well, it appears the fallout from Karen Read's murder trial is far from over. Just hours after Judge Beverly Cannoni declared a mistrial in that murder trial, Massachusetts State Police announced that it took immediate action to relieve Trooper Michael Proctor of duty and formally transfer him out of the Norfolk DA's office detectives unit. State Police went on to say that this follows its previous decision to open an internal affairs investigation after information about serious misconduct emerged in testimony at the trial. And we understand that under his collective bargaining agreement, 5 days notice is required. So this is actually effective on Sunday, July 7th. NBC 10 investigators Kathy Curran was the only reporter to speak with Proctor after the mistrial was declared on Monday.
Trooper Proctor, Kathy Curran from NBC 10. We'd like to ask you some questions. Do you think your actions impacted the outcome of the trial?
Get off of our lawn. Right?
I'm not on your lawn. I'm on the street. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I fully support my husband. Karen Read is a murderer.
In a statement, Karen Read's defense attorney, David Yannetti, said conduct has consequences. D.A. Morrissey backed this misogynist, corrupt cop, and 2 hours after he announced he will pursue a second trial against an innocent woman, State Police announced Proctor has been relieved of duty because of serious misconduct that emerged in his testimony. Proctor is entitled to a duty status hearing. That's where he will learn his future with the State Police. Outside Norfolk Superior Court, Alicia Palumbo, NBC 10 Boston.